What is an untruth people tell themselves to feel better about life or world they live in? If I only get this over with, everything is going to be easy. Life never runs out of waves to shake you. But while it isn't easy, you do learn to surf better. I'll be happy when I lost 25 kg. I'll be happy when I buy that couch. I'll be happy when. Have to learn to be happy in the present. Because that's the only place we ever live. The past and the future don't exist. Only the present moment. People always get what's coming to them. The reality is that sometimes the people who tormented you all those years ago are likely living pretty good lives. As in, karma is not a bitch. Depends on how you look at it. Karma can be because these people didn't receive what they are due. But maybe karma isn't a bitch to them. Or karma is a made up phenomena that people project onto reality to help them cope with how little they control their own existence. Or what the Western world seems to think karma is isn't what karma in Eastern religion actually is. That the world is just. Karma is a bitch. What's coming to them, etc. I had a discussion about this topic the other day with someone who firmly believes in karmic justice. My stance is that kind of belief is dangerous. Rather than seek mete out justice, victims content with they'll get there someday are just allowing terrible people to get away with shit and possibly go on to victimize others. In reality, lots of horrible people skate through life without consequences, and lots of good people suffer, and the universe doesn't seem too bothered by it. A man said to the universe, "Sir, I exist. However," said the universe, "that fact has not created in me a sense of obligation." Stephen Crane. Crime doesn't pay. I know someone that embezzled over 1 million and got probation and has to pay back less than 10% restitution. For adults specifically, doing your best success. Don't get me wrong. Doing your best is something to be proud of. But doing your best without preparation, dedication, practice leads to nowhere. And sometimes your best isn't good enough. It's a tough pill to swallow, but we are not all cut out for everything. Sometimes you do everything right, but it still doesn't work out. That's life. It's possible to make no mistakes and still lose. That is not a weakness. That is life. Not even gonna credit pick it. I'm not an alcoholic. It's not an addiction I can stop whenever I want. It's just party, birthday, Wednesday or whatever. I earned this one and next one. Being like that for 22 years. Coming from heavily alcoholic home. Sobered up few years ago, and it was by far best decision of my life. Drink because something went right. Drink because something went wrong. If I fall asleep right now, I'll get X hours of sleep. You're gonna be awake for a while. Honey, I envy people who can instantly fall asleep. It took me a while to learn that not everyone falls asleep immediately. I've had maybe 7 nights of insomnia in my 29 years. From what I hear, I seem to have won the lottery on this one. Everything happens for a reason. When used to tell myself this, I was depressed and more stressed because I desperately tried to find the reason and get more distraught when I couldn't find a reason, especially when it seemed that several shitty things were happening at the same time. I started telling myself that sometimes bad things happen and there's no rhyme or reason to it, and it helped me so much more. Now when things go wrong, I don't worry anymore that it's because of something did it leads to a bigger plan. I'm much happier and at peace knowing that when bad things happen it's just bad luck and that I'll be luckier next time. It gets better. 10 years later and you still tell yourself that it can get better is true. It does get better is not necessarily true. I believe that every single person, me included, think that they are a bit smarter than what they truly are. People who romanticize being busy at work. Everything will be okay. This is a big one for me. Sometimes things will be okay, but thinking it always will be strikes me as survivorship bias. A lot of people throughout history were most likely telling themselves that right up to the point they died from whatever unfortunate things happened to them. That karma exists. Nothing bad is destined to happen to shitty people. The same way good things aren't destined to good people. Whatever happens is just how it is. I'm going to tell live my truth. Your truth is just an excuse for your actions, just or not. It's not the objective truth. Whatever bad things happen to me is not my fault. It's everyone else's fault. This is the basis for conspiracy theories. They can't accept that bad things happen for no reason, so in their mind they create a vast conspiracy by the government or powers in charge against them. It's easier to blame your failures on a faceless entity than to admit you made bad choices. It's more comforting to think that someone is in charge, even maliciously, than to acknowledge that the world is chaotic or indifferent. Money can't buy happiness. Don't have a house, job, and are starving. Don't worry. Just because you're poor doesn't mean that having a mansion, 5-course meals, or a 6-digit salary will make you happier. Money does not buy you happiness, but lack of money certainly buys you misery. Some author. Bad things happen to bad people, so that means everything happens for a reason. Everything just happens. We make up the reasons afterwards, if we survive them. Wisdom comes with age. It comes to some. Many just get old. They tell themselves, it doesn't matter what others think of you. Just be yourself. Lead your life the way you wish. Things have a way of working out. Things working out often actually means after a while, you will accept things that happen. And accept this as normal. That there used to be the good old days when in fact there never was. For kids, good heroes always wins. When you grow up, it's just a fantasy. That they are more unique than they are similar to everyone else. No, no, no. You're a typical human being. Nice try, Karen. Main character syndrome. If you can't handle me at my worst, then you don't deserve me at my best or any variation of that. You're really just a shitty partner and refuse to work on yourself. A positive attitude will make you physically better. As a chick with cancer, I get the just have the positive attitude advice a lot, which always irked me. No one who feels like crap wants to fake a positive mindset to make others feel better. My favorite response to someone telling me that again was actually from a nurse in the room who said, please, I'm seeing a whole lot of true bitches survive cancer. That nurse is forever my hero. That things are going to get better. You can't possibly know that. That it's going to get better. That it's never too late. That God has a plan for you. That age is just a number. That it's always darkest before the dawn. That every cloud has a silver lining. That there's someone for everyone, and God never gives us more than we can bear. I'm thinking of ending things. That the majority of people have a good soul and a good heart. I tell myself this all the time. I'm constantly proven wrong. In reality, the majority of people are selfish and unkind, especially when it comes to other people. Remember from The Dark Knight, the Joker says people are only as good as the world allows them to be. Yep, that's what comes to mind for me. I live for my loved ones. I lost my wife during childbirth and 4 months later my daughter died from a heart condition that was inoperable. God, I'm just so sorry. That one is truly and deeply disturbing, and I hope that you will never be in this situation ever again. For you to watch very important people going so young. This dude's account is a ducking joke. Read his comments. Apparently he used to be called Feral Wolf by his unit because he bit someone's neck and killed them. Has killed people for money. Is close to doing 15-30 years in prison, but the judge is on his side. That hard work pays off. I dunno. But it just doesn't seem to work for me. That life will get completely better. There will always be bad days and bad things happening. Even if you're a wonderful person. I've saved over 8 people from suicide, but I've barely been able to save myself. But I'm still here. Yeah, know why? Because I'm still helping people who are suicidal. I neglect my own self-care to help others. I still get beaten in school for being Native American, but I jaff because, like I said, I'm helping people around me. That the universe is run by a benevolent deity. The universe is indifferent chaos. Foundationally it is more Lovecraftian than Christian. We live on a placid island of ignorance in the midst of black seas of infinity, and it was not meant that we should voyage far. Lovecraft. That God will take care of your problems. I'm gonna get downvoted to heck. But Fat and Heathy, Some people confuse health at all sizes as meaning you can be healthy regardless of your size. What I've always been told is that it's encouraging people of all sizes to at least take some steps towards their health. Then you get some 600-pound person trying to tell you that they are just as healthy as the average person. Fate. Too long didn't read. The concept of fate is a little lie we tell ourselves that makes us feel better about where we are in life. Life is an endless list of possibilities. Each decision we make changes those possibilities, and as we get older the possibilities dwindle. It can be overwhelming to consider it is, and can even send some into a paralyzing downward spiral of indecision. On top of that, many outcomes also rely heavily on an uncountable number of factors that are completely out of our control. How do people deal with all of this? They believe in fate. They believe that where I am is where I'm meant to be. Because if you don't believe that, then you stress over questions like, did I pick the right spouse? Did I pick the right career? What if I had taken the other job? Or stuck with the other partner? It can be terrifying. But I'm sorry, fate doesn't exist. It is simply a bit of cognitive dissonance we all use to placate our fragile egos. And deep down everyone knows fate doesn't exist. You know how I can tell? Because we still reach people to wear seatbelts and helmets. We teach kids to look both ways before they cross the street. If we truly believed in fate, none of this would be necessary. But no, it is just a little lie we tell ourselves because it allows us to deal with the limited nature of our reality and the fact that we make many decisions about our lives with limited information of how they will affect us long term. The majority of people are good. Only a small percentage opposes. My experiences in life show that it's the other way around. Most oppose, with a small percentage good. God has a plan. You could have stopped at God. That they can be rich. That they are equals. That they are good looking and smart. That you'll get rewarded if you just work hard. Most of the time, hard work is rewarded with more work. Or it makes hard work the new standard. So you get punished if you just put in regular effort. Everything happens for a reason. It's basically a non-Christian's version of God's plan for you. No, it was a coincidence. Even if there is some divine power at work, I can guarantee it doesn't give enough of a rat's ass about you to screw with you personally. The higher ups are manipulating us. No, they're just stupid and incompetent. There isn't some shadow government keeping people downtrodden. There's just the regular moronic governments. Take a look at some of the statements politicians make. Then tell me those can possibly come from intelligent creatures. You just have to apply yourself. No, you need to be lucky. Yes, hard work will affect it, and isn't negligible. But it's far from the most important thing. Some people just don't have the connections, or intelligence, or physical ability for something. If you're unlucky with the genetic lottery, your hard work isn't going to matter much. And the one pissing me off the most, no. Good things happen to people who are greedy and selfish, and don't give a shit about anyone else. After death, there's another world that our souls resides in, and friends passed earlier await there. Depending on what we did in this world, the Lord leads us to the realm that we deserve. The better we did, the better it will be.